Welcome to another quick hit review video. There are 4 trades this morning that I want to run through. It is the 24th of October and 2 of them are rising channels. One of them is a breakout pattern, a flag pattern. So first of all, we are here on the pound yen on the daily time frame. So as usual, we'll do the higher time frame analysis. And what I'm looking at here is we double bottomed, price broke higher, pulled back, and again has broken higher. Now if I put 2 structure levels in, one at the close of the candles, one at the wicks, and we can look for any resistance up in that area, then you can see that we have an area here and an area here as well. What else did we have? A little test here, so only a small area, but let's go ahead here and drop down to the 240 time frame. And what we can actually see now is that within those zones we actually have a rising channel. So we've got a very directional move here, and then if we draw out the channel based on the closes of the candles, it's going to look like this. We're going to go ahead and duplicate that and move it down, and we're going to be looking for a minimum of 4 touches. 1, 2, 3. That needs extending a little bit. Okay, we're going to have the 4th that actually happened here, but if you look up just in this area, we actually held this zone just here. Then what we did is we actually broke out of the channel. So this is confirmation now that we had the rising channel. We found an area of resistance right at this 140-100 psychological number, and we broke out the channel. Now we've pulled back up to the structure level. For these rising channels to be valid, we do need bearish divergence, and we did need it to be overbought, so we do have that as well. And targets are going to be a retest of the closes of the candles of the first test. Now what I'm just going to do is also drop down then to the 60-minute time frame. So it isn't a great deal here, but what we've done is we've pulled up to this area, and now we've put in a lower low, lower close, and it does at this stage look as though we're seeing some bearish movement. So that's the first one. What I'm going to do now is just go over to the pound dollar. Very, very similar setup. So we're going to talk through the same thing again. We had a double bottom, which was just here. We had a move higher, a pullback, and then a very directional move higher. I'm going to put 2 structure levels in. One at the close of the candles, one at the high of the wicks. You can see that we are at another psychological number, the 13,000. This one has a better structure level, a better resistance level in my opinion. You look at all the areas here that have been tested and held. Lots and lots at this level. Just one more there. So let's go ahead and, well, just before we drop down a time frame, check out the RSI. Here on the dailies we have gone over bought at 85. You can see that there is some resistance at this level as we're putting in indecision candles. Let's drop down to the 240, and I'm just going to get rid of the RSI again. So as mentioned, very similar setup to the pound yen. Directional move, we draw out based on the closes of the candles like so, and then we go ahead and duplicate it, move it down, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That was actually a 5th test up here, and then up at this point what happened is we then broke out of the channel, which is the confirmation we need, along with bearish divergence. As you can see from the first test, bearish divergence, and this is now also a valid opportunity. Stops, by the way, going ATR above these highs on both of these trades, the pound yen and the pound dollar, and once again targets are down here. So if you were to get involved with this trade now, you're looking at a reward of around 235 pips. I'm just going to go ahead and do the New Zealand yen. We've got a big daily potential breakout pattern, and I don't have enough data loaded, but on the weeklies this is a new low with room to go lower. But here on the dailies we've got a directional move, and then if we draw out the trend line based on the closes of the candles, duplicate it, move it up, We're looking for a minimum of 4 touches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it come into structure? Well, if I put a structure level on at the low of this wick here, which would be a key level for me, then you can see we're hitting some resistance at that zone now. We have already had the entry candle for me, which is a red candle, which simply shows the fact that we haven't just held structure, we've also seen some resistance at this zone. And this is confirmation that we're channeling or coiling here, because this third test, the low of the test here, did not come down and test the closes of the candles. So very large trade this for a breakout pattern. Target swing low to swing high, looking for that 127. That means if you were to get involved now, and again there is room based on the dailies and the weeklies, you have around 500 pips of reward. Stops. For me personally, I would go a little bit further than an ATR back. This level right here, I would have my stop just behind it. However, if price came up and physically broke and closed above this channel, which would actually have to be above here, because this is the highest point. So again, if you get your stop above here, this would be the safest point for me. If we just drop down to the 240, it was looking like we were going to double top up here. We didn't quite make it, we fell a little bit short, but if we do get back up there, that could be another entry reason for your double top. There was a couple of other things. I think it was the New Zealand dollar. We have I think it was a back pattern or a Gartley pattern. I think this one was a Gartley actually. I know back pattern, this one, X to A to B, B to C, CD completion. As you can see, that that is already completed. And the Aussie dollar, we have this one's the Gartley pattern. So I'll throw the fib on, swing high to swing low. Let me get this position correctly. X to A to B, we hit the 61.8, B to C, CD completion, and we did actually double top up here as well, and it did provide a 26.18 for anybody that's was getting involved with that. So lots and lots of opportunities out there, guys, on the markets. As usual, be safe, check what news is out, and just bear in mind Brexit is in 1 week.